Hello and welcome to this evening flow. You may want to grab a block or two, a cushion, and maybe a strap. It could be a belt or a scarf, whatever is handy. And come back and meet me on the mat in a comfortable position, whether it be on the floor, on a cushion, or on a chair if that's what works for you today. Hands gently resting on the knees, gaze lowered slightly, and just check in with what your breath is doing right now without judgment. Just watching the natural rhythms as it rises and falls, just as you are in this very moment in time. Maybe watching where it pauses and turns at the top and the bottom of every breath. 4 points of each breath, that active inhalation, that pause at the top, the more passive exhalation, and again a pause and turn at the bottom. We're going to start linking some movement with breath, and if you don't get this right away, that is completely normal. You may want to watch me a few times and add a bit more each time that you do this. On the next inhalation, we're going to raise the arms out and up to the sky. At the top, we're going to clasp our hands on that pause of breath. Exhale, bow the head down with taking the hands with them. Inhale, lifting everything back up again. Exhale, bowing the head forward, this time taking the arms forward with it. Inhale, lifting everything back up. Exhale, this time open the arms, slightly lifting the chest forward. Inhale, lifting arms back up, clasp the hands. Exhale, bowing the head and arms forwards. As you inhale, take the arms back up. And the next exhale, going to open the arms and lift that chest gently to the sky. Inhale, arms back up, clasp the hands. Exhale, one last bow forwards with the head and the arms. Inhale, back up. And this time on the exhale, we're going to push those clasped hands down as if you are pushing a coffee dispenser down, feeling some resistance on that exhale. Inhale, scooping these clasped hands forward and up. Turning the hands back at the top so the palms are down. Exhale, push down. With that breath, follow it down, full with the whole exhale. Inhale, scoop the hands up and forwards. Turning the hands, palms down when you turn at the top of the breath. Exhale, push these clasped hands all the way down. Slow and steady. Hands rested gently on knees and bring your head back up to neutral position. On your next exhale, drip your left ear to left shoulder, easing off that right side of the neck. Roll the head forward so your chin is tucked towards your chest, and then all the way up the other side. So right ear to right shoulder before bringing it back up to the center. Let's take that the other way, right side. Soft and easing all the way around to the front and back up to the left side before coming back up to neutral. On the next exhale, we're going to drop that left ear to left shoulder again, this time staying there and taking that right arm out to the side. Now I play around. Sometimes I push the heel of the hand away. Sometimes I point the middle finger all the way down. And sometimes I might take little wrist circles or even arm circles here. It really depends on where I'm at on any given day. So play around with what feels good for you this evening, easing out any points of tension, all that's built up throughout the day. And let's take that on the other side. So this time dripping the right ear down to right shoulder. And when you're ready, extending the left arm out to the side. And again, playing around with what feels good. So maybe the heel of the hand pushed away. Maybe you want to try pointing the middle finger away and down. Just target slightly different areas. Slightly different sensations are felt. Or even little circles around clockwise or anti-clockwise. Whatever feels good for you this evening. Then when you're ready, lower everything back down again. Bring yourself to neutral and exhale everything out. On the next inhale, we're going to draw up that right arm and side stretch over to the left. lengthening out that whole right side of body. And then next exhale, lower your gaze down. We're going to sweep that arm round and forwards, bring yourself into a little forward stretch. It doesn't have to go very far, just wherever feels comfortable in your body. You can even put a block or a cushion under your head at this point. And next inhalation, walk your hands and body back up to seated, and we're going to take a little twist to the side, so lifting your left knee, planting your left foot on the floor. Inhale, lift your right arm all the way up. Exhale, twisting around to your left. Extending your left arm back and gently looking over that left shoulder. Your right hand can be placed on your ankle, or if it feels good, you can even hook your right elbow the other side of your left knee for a little bit of a deeper twist. Breathing and softening into this, and then release it back to neutral. I'm going to take that all the other way. So we're going to take our side stretch first. Inhale, lifting the left arm. Exhale, softening into that side stretch. Feeling length down the whole of the left side this time. The next exhale, take your gaze down to the floor before sweeping the body around and down to a little forward fold again. You don't have to go very far forwards on this, just enough to feel a bit of a release. And you can use a cushion or block under your head to have a bit more support as well at this point. And then on the next inhalation, walking your hands and body back up to lifting the right knee, planting the right foot on the floor. And inhale, lifting that left arm up. Exhale, taking that little twist, reaching that right arm behind you, looking over your right shoulder. And again, your left hand can either be rested on your right ankle, or you can tuck your elbow the other side of your knee. And then bring your body back round to neutral when you're ready. Going to bring both knees up the chest, give them a momentary little hug while they're there. And then keeping the belly close to the thighs, we're going to crawl those toes forwards. Now the knees remained as bent as you need them to keep that tummy on the thighs. This is more of a release and a relax over. And then slowly bring it back up to a neutral seated position. Now you can take different options for this next bit. Extend the right leg forward and gently bend the left knee in, taking hold of the left foot and gently rolling the foot and ankle around in little circles. Resting that left ankle on the right thigh. Now you can keep doing this if you want to, or you can draw that left foot a little bit closer to the body, maybe cradling it with the right elbow and arm and giving a little sway there, rocking it like a baby. Holding the left knee with the right hand maybe. Now if you want a more stationary stretch with this, rest the left ankle onto the right thigh and bring the right thigh a little bit closer to the body. Or you can keep that right leg extended as well. Let's take that the other side. So extending the left foot forward, left leg forward now, bringing the right ankle up towards you and turning that ankle and foot around, maybe resting that right ankle on the left thigh. And again, you can just stay here doing this, opening that right knee out and down, just letting gravity take it. If you want to work more into your hips, you can again bring your right foot and ankle and cradle it with your left arm or hand this time. Maybe bringing that foot into the nook of the left elbow. Can feel good, and cradle it like you would a baby. Just rocking gently. Nice and easy. And you can bring that left knee up again, resting that right ankle on the knee, just for a bit more of a static stretch. And when you're ready, releasing that all back down. And we're going to bring ourselves onto our hands and knees for a tabletop position. Knees under your hips, hands under your shoulders. Maybe giving your hips a bit of a sway back and forwards. Feeling the lightness in the body, as if it's chiffon, waving in the wind. Moving through any areas of the body that may feel a little bit stuck. before bringing it back to a still tabletop. We're going to cat and cow. So inhale, lift the gaze up and forwards. Open the front body. Exhale, take that gaze towards the navel, navel towards the spine, spine towards the sky. Inhale, gaze up, lengthening all the way through the neck and front body, tilting the hips forwards and down. Exhale, scooping that belly towards the spine as your gaze goes towards your navel, again scooping that hole inside of the body. Inhale, gaze up, lengthening forwards, shoulders down and away from your neck. Exhale, bringing everything back to a neutral tabletop position, pouring the weight into the left hand, and the next inhale, peeling the right arm all the way up to the sky. Exhale, sweeping it back and round into a circular motion. If that feels too intense, you can take these circles in your shoulders or your elbow even. Taking the final one all the way up, and then exhale, scooping it down and through under your left arm, resting your right cheek on the floor in this twist. Now you can take your left arm onto your hip. You can rest it on top of your hand, or you can reach it all the way up to the sky, whatever twist feels good in your body. Exhale, lower that left hand back down and bring yourself back up to tabletop. Let's take that the other side. So peeling your left arm all the way up this time on an inhale, and exhale, taking it around in scooping circles. Inhale as it lifts to the top, exhale forward, inhale up. Again, you can take this into your shoulder or your elbow if that feels better for you, but we're going to end up on an inhale, reaching all the way up, and exhale, scooping that down and through underneath your right arm this time. Resting your left cheek onto the floor. Maybe your right hand is on your hip, resting on top of the other hand, or even reaching up to the sky. Again, find what works best for you in this twist, tabletop twist. Exhale, bring your right arm back down and bring yourself back up to tabletop once more. And wiggle it out in any way that you need to. Walk the hands forward slightly and lower the chest down to the floor into a puppy pose. Maybe the forehead is rested on a floor, or a block underneath your forehead might work well. Keep melting that chest down to the ground. You may be able to take your gaze forwards, but that's not a requirement, only if it feels good for you. And soften into the breast, soften into this heart space before bringing it back up to tabletop once more. Walk both hands slightly to the left and take this puppy pose again, but to the side slightly. So there's a bit more lengthening in the right side of the body. And put your forehead on the floor. You can turn your head slightly to get your right cheek on the floor. We're going to walk that over to the other side now. So taking it over to the right. So this time more of a lengthening in the left side body. Keep softening into that heart space. Keeping the hips over the knees. And then bring that back up to tabletop. We're going to come onto our bellies now. Onto your hips and bellies. Into a little sphinx pose. So resting on your forearms. Lifting your gaze very slightly. Extending your chest forwards. You want to create a length through the spine. Then rest your head back down to the floor. Bring your left knee up to a right angle, and you can turn your head to the left side too, and cactus your arm out. So a really restful position, a little bit like the recovery position. Take a moment here. And then whenever you're ready, shift that onto the other side. So lengthening your left leg down, bringing your right leg up to a right angle position. Right arm mirroring that. And when you're ready, we're going to roll all the way onto your backs. And this might be a good time to reach for your strap or belt if you have one nearby. Knees up to the sky, feet planted firmly on the floor about hip width apart. Lift one knee at a time towards your chest and give them a little bit of a hug. While you're here, maybe a little roll around, massaging your back on the floor. Feeling the belly against the thighs, and then release them back down to the floor, feet on the floor again. Going to peel that right leg up this time, bring the knee towards the chest and rest the ankle over the left knee, letting the right knee unfold outwards. That might be good to stay there, or you might want to lift your left knee towards your chest more, maybe use a strap to encourage that thigh to come a bit more towards your torso, or if you can reach with your hands, that also works well. But you can keep your left foot on the floor also. That is just as beneficial to open the hips. And just breathing through this stretch, feeling length in the thighs and hips, and unfold that. We're going to do that the other side. So this time lifting the left knee towards the chest, hooking the left ankle over the right knee, staying there, or if you want to, lifting the right thigh towards the chest using the strap or using your hands to encourage it closer to your chest. And breathing as your hips feel an opening and a release. Going only as far as you need to, so that your hips feel safe. And then releasing that back down. We're going to come into a half baby. So bringing that right knee back up. This time you're going to hook the strap around the bottom of your foot. And gently drawing the knee down to the side of your right body. If you can reach with your hand, that can help encourage your knee down, but using the strap is just as good. And just letting gravity take it more than anything. Your hand isn't there to pull it down, it's just more there as a guide. Giving it time to soften and ease into that opening before releasing that foot back down and taking it onto the other leg. So lifting the left knee towards the torso and hooking that strap around that left foot. Bring the knee down to the side of the body. So either using that strap, or again, if you can, hook it with your hand. You can also do that. But this is gravity taking it rather than any pulling as such. Letting gravity just when you're ready, releasing that foot back down onto the ground. We're going to be going into a bridge pose. You can use a cushion for this if you like, so have it nearby and handy. Hands face down, either side of the body, feet firmly planted on the ground, about hip width apart, and on the next breath, rolling the hips up towards the sky. This is an active bridge choice, or you can bring your pillow underneath your hips and rest your hips down into a more restorative bridge. So 2 options for you to take. Softening and settling here. Just noting all the sensations that are arising in the body before releasing the hips back down and removing that cushion if you need to. Take your feet a little bit further apart, maybe just outside the mat, and let the knees drop in towards each other. Feeling a connection all the way up from the knees, through the thighs, the mid-pelvis, navel, heart space, throat, and all the way to the crown of the head. And drawing your hands up to the sides, maybe bringing your feet hip width a bit closer together again. And let your knees drop down to the left side, looking over your right shoulder. Supine twist. Reset the spine. Take that the other side. Knees up to neutral, and then dropping the knees all the way down to the other side, looking over the opposite shoulder. softening into any areas of tension that may still be there before lengthening your feet all the way to the bottom of the mat. Hands a bit close to your body, palms facing the ceiling into your well-deserved Shavasana. And allow yourself to stay here as long as you need to. There's nowhere else you need to be right now. Just checking in with how your body is right now, if it's any different to how you started this practice this evening. Settling into the breath. Scanning the body slowly from bottom to top as you release the toes and the feet, the ankles, the shins, the knees, the thighs, the pelvis, the belly, the heart space, the chest, front of chest and the back of chest, across your shoulders, the tops and the backs of your shoulders, all the way down your arms to your wrists, your hands and your fingertips, softening your neck, softening your cheeks, your jaw, your lips, your eyebrows and your eyes, just softening as if they are in pools of glistening water. Softening your forehead and feeling that stroke through the hair as your body is able to rest and feel both heavy in the ground as you rest into your bones, as you also feel a sense of weightlessness in the body, a lightness, a slight hovering off the ground. Both weighted and weightless. Now you're welcome to stay here as long as you need to. If and when you do need to finish this practice, very tenderly and gently bring your awareness back into the body. Bring your awareness back to the breath. How it moves within your chest and in your belly. How the air and energy is flowing around your body. Maybe moving your hands and your feet, your fingers and your toes, maybe stretching your hands away and up, taking your body and turning it to the side before gently bringing it up to a seated position. And there's no need to rush. Just give yourself a few moments as you're seated here. And I will say a big thank you for practicing with me today. And hope you have a wonderful, restful evening and sleep. Or whatever you are doing for the rest of the day, if you've chosen to do this earlier in the day. And hopefully see you soon.